Hello, hello, friends. Welcome to another exciting episode of the DC Infinite Hour. Rob just got a little blurry, got a little
What?
pixelated.
He's
Yeah,
a Bigfoot.
yes. As soon as we started streaming, buddy. Ouch.
Is it
Ouch.
seriously blurry right now?
I mean,
Little
you
bit.
look better.
I hate my life.
It'll clear up.
I'm hardwired in.
All
I'll come back.
right. Whatever makes you happy. You
He's
know.
leaving us.
You better come back, Brad. Guys, thanks for joining us in the chat. We got 24 people watching. We got Claudia. We got Josh from before. You know, we got some good people out there in the chat. The Meme Team Geek. Look at that. We got some good people out there. I feel like this is good. We did a show 2 weeks ago, Brad. I feel like we're regaining some consistency, perhaps.
The momentum is gaining again, and we're getting back on our 2 week.
Ooh, Yes.
Yeah.
And I like that, dude. I feel like you got to keep the momentum going in anything in life, right? It
Yeah.
always helps.
Well, and
Yeah.
to diversify the cast just a little bit, like we're doing tonight,
Yeah.
right? That definitely helps to keep up some of that momentum for sure. When there's
Yeah.
less action figure news, there's
Yeah.
still other things to yak about, right?
Right. And I like how we're trying to stay up with current events,
Yeah.
you know, as far as it
There you
does.
There, Rob's back and looks like Rob
Rob's
again.
back. Rob looking good. Rob looking a lot better, buddy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Am I lagging at all?
No, dude. No. You look good. Face looks good.
Okay.
You know, that's the face. That's the face of America right there, my friends. Get that.
Cut it out.
That's him, Rob. First of all, Bradley,
Vote for
happy
Rob.
Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving. I know it passed, right? Was it a couple of days ago, last weekend? When was Canadian Thanksgiving?
Yes, she is.
It was-
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it was Canadian Thanksgiving Monday, yesterday.
Now, I think we talked about this last year. I remember us having the exact same conversation.
Yeah.
Are like the Native Americans involved with Canadian Thanksgiving? Is there?
No, why would they be?
I don't know. I only know about the American Thanksgiving.
You know,
I'm
it's the same. It's the same basic idea. It's the same basic idea. Oh, the Pilgrims, and then they came over on the Mayflower, and then they, like it's the same basic idea here. You know, we have turkey and or ham. Yeah, it's a weekend to get fat because I mean, like myself, I've got my in-laws' house to go to, so there's a Thanksgiving dinner there, and then my parents come, so we have a Thanksgiving dinner at my house, and so you end up you eat turkey Sunday and you eat it Monday, and before you know it, you have to have your top buckle of your belt loosened for 3 days.
So it's the same Thanksgiving? Like I thought it's like is that a Canadian version, like with French pilgrims or something like that? No.
Nah, it's basically the same, largely the
French
same.
Pilgrims.
Like we celebrate it largely the same.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, except for we don't have football on our Thanksgiving.
So it's
Do you
not
have,
like Plymouth Rock or anything like that.
No, it's not like that. Like we're not celebrating Plymouth Rock. It's just more like, oh, the settlers, and they had the first Thanksgiving to show their thanks for surviving and all that stuff.
well, there you go. Do you guys have pumpkin pie?
Oh yeah,
Or
Pecan.
oh yeah, pumpkin, apple, cherry, blueberry, the
Pecan.
whole shebang. We usually have no less than 3 different flavors of pie, and pumpkin is always the staple. And then it's just what other pie do we have around it?
I had some friends from Australia visit once during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They're serving the pumpkin pie, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Why are you serving a vegetable in a pie?"
yeah.
I'm like, "Wow, I never thought about it that way."
Yeah.
You know?
It's so good though, right? Like you add the right spices, like cinnamon and nutmeg and brown sugar and whatever, and then you have this like delicious pie.
You know, we should do DC Infinite Hour Thanksgiving celebration. I don't know how that would work exactly. Like around Thanksgiving, for all our, or a few people that watch us, like, we have like some turkey stuff happening, and we eat some turkey as we talk about this stuff. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, guys. Just spitballing.
I could have a turkey breast sandwich.
Ooh.
It's hard to find turkeys in the store. Like I think you can maybe find them, but really it's only Christmas and Thanksgiving that you usually find turkeys in the store, I think. Like in the bunkers en masse.
Now, do you deep fry your turkey, Brad? Do you
No.
put it in the oven? What are we
No.
talking about here, buddy?
Oh yeah, we toss that thing in the oven. Yep, cook it to perfection. Well, we don't anymore. Like when we have the turkey at my house, we had ham this year. We had a bone-in ham. at my house. But usually, yeah, my wife and my mother, they know how to cook the turkey up perfectly. I went to chef school, so I do know how. So Margaret knows how to cook it to perfection, partially because she's done it a lot, and then partially because she used some of the techniques that I taught her. Yeah, and then partially because my mom is there. So, it's perfect. The white meat is soft and succulent, and the dark meat is perfect. Oh yeah.
I did notice Rob shaking his head in disgust with the ham came up.
I'm
You're
not a ham guy.
fan.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't like ham. Like any time I get ham, I'm just like, eh.
Like ham or any pork product. Like, do you like bacon?
I like bacon, yeah. And I like sausage.
Okay.
You like pulled pork?
I love pulled pork.
But you
yeah.
can't do ham?
Ham just like so blah and just not.
We'll put
like,
hollandaise
especially
sauce
lunch
on
meat
it.
ham is gross, but like sliced ham and stuff like for Easter and stuff. Like
What about honey ham?
I'll eat it,
I'd
but
say
I'm
that
not
honey
enjoying
baked
it.
ham. Wow.
Honey
Like
ham, buddy. What about
Christmas-
honey ham?
No, like Christmas we have turkey. Thanksgiving we have turkey. The only time I eat ham, I think, is for Easter.
Mm.
I love
Sorry.
honey.
Okay.
I love honey baked ham personally.
Oh yeah. There's nothing like a good couple slices off of a bone-in honey
I like
ham.
spam.
Oh, I love spam.
Yeah,
Not as good as ham though, but I love spam.
Jose.
Fry that stuff up in the morning for breakfast. That's good stuff.
do you like spam? Ham loaf. Ham loaf's gross.
Ham loaf.
Oh, there comes Tim Dunbar. Oh, I got stories of my brothers eating
Yeah.
habits. We gotta get Tim on the show.
No, we don't.
Maybe for the Christmas episode or the Thanksgiving episode. That'd be hilarious. You get family members like to talk smack about us, you know?
No.
more just Rob, honestly, Brad. I feel like we just gotta get Rob's brother on the.
It'll just be make a fool of Rob night.
Because I don't see that every day.
Oh, you get fuzzy again, Rob.
Ah,
Dang, buddy. Such a shame, you know.
Claudio said barbecue spam is great. I've never had barbecue spam. Now I want to try that. Barbecue spam.
What about a pork roll? Yeah,
Pork roll.
pork roll.
I'm thinking like a British, like in a pastry type pork roll. That's what I'm.
Oh, that's where you get the pork and it's got the paste. Yeah,
It's like a sausage. It's more like a
sausage roll, like a sausage roll. If that's what
Yeah.
if that's what's being talked about. Yeah, I love sausage roll. That's a Christmas thing here. We only have those at
I
Christmas.
had that.
You'd never had a sausage roll, Rob?
He's had
I don't
a lot of
think
sausage rolls. Sorry, so juvenile.
Anyway,
All right, guys, let's get into the show.
Yeah,
You know what?
please.
I mean, I can talk about this for the next 2 hours. Like, what are you drinking over there, buddy? What do we got?
Oh, hold on. Let me just dig in my garbage can for the can. I forget what it's called. It's a new beer I've been drinking. A Collective Lager. I crushed the can, but it's really, really good. Delicious.
Collective lager, and look, we're
Collective Lager,
on the
yeah.
show talking about collectibles.
I maybe Claudio might know about Collective Lager. It's Canadian, so maybe Claudio might know about it, but maybe not.
Yes, you might. All right, let's talk about our first topic. We have a good, diverse platter of topics, friends.
We do.
Not just McFarlane toy stuff,
Serving it up.
but we're gonna first go to our pal Crypto. James Gunn revealed crypto in this adorable post
Mm-hmm.
earlier today. Love this post. Look at this. You know, just the whole vibe of it. And he had a lovely story here about how his own dog that was a little bit destructive inspired the new dog that he rescued. A great little story there. What are we thinking about this whole image, the vibe? What do we think, boys?
Well, I'm used to my crypto. I'll start what I'm used to, and then I'll give my opinion after. So what I'm used to with crypto is not a shaggy dog like that, right? It's
Yeah.
like more of like a hound pit bull mix or something like that. Like I don't really know what kind of dog crypto is supposed to be, but generally a short-haired dog with floppy ears. And but because like James Gunn has been subverting like every expectation like that a lot of us have about the DC universe and like his DC universe going forward, like this Superman has looked different than we all thought, different emblem. Guy Gardner's running around wearing white, you know. There's just so many differences, so many expectations being subverted. Hal Jordan's older. So it doesn't surprise me that he went with this breed of dog, whatever it is, mutt. I'm not really sure what it is as Crypto, but I think, like, my opinion is, I think that it will work out just fine. I think that he's going to be probably the best on-screen Crypto. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I of course agree with you about like what you'd expect and what we're getting. Yeah, I was not expecting a shaggy dog. Like always, Crypto usually has short hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want him to look somewhat real. I don't know if that's possible with a, flying dog or whatnot. It's obviously going to be all CGI. I hope it looks somewhat realistic, so you suspend disbelief and a little bit. I don't know. I don't think they use a real dog at all in the filming, right?
No, I don't think that Hollywood very often they can. I think they can under certain circumstances, but how much Hollywood can use actual animals is a lot more restrictive than it used to be. So it just ends up being just less hassle to like CGI a dog in or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I
well,
agree.
because they're dealing with what is that organization that has to do with animals that pisses everyone off? PETA. Yeah. So they got to deal with PETA, right? I mean, I get it. You got to treat animals fairly and kindly and stuff like that and humanely, but
I like Josh's comment. Pretty scrappy looking dog.
yeah, he looks. I think
I
scrappy
like
dog.
Rob, what do you think, buddy? You haven't heard from you about this.
I think it looks cute. It's a great photo. I dig it. Plus, we get to see the S on the cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with this as being Crypto. I mean, I don't have any. I'm not a huge dog lover. I know that's going to offend a lot of people. Like, I like dogs. Don't get me wrong. It's just like I like cats better. I'm just a cat guy. But my friends have like fluffy, curly-haired dogs and stuff, and they're cute. I don't know. Like, I think Crypto from the Titans was like a great dog, but like this is fine too.
SB Toys brought up a good point. Really, he pulled it off the talking, walking raccoon.
What did the dog? Can we pull up?
So true.
Can we pull up Crypto from Titans? I forget what he looks like.
He was.
Wasn't he a? Oh yeah, Crypto from Titans looked kind of stereotypical, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
I fell off. Okay, I fell off that. I fell off of Titans. I'm gonna look that up now.
Yeah, I'll switch over here.
Titan.
There you go. This is what he looked like.
Oh, okay. Well, go back.
Oh. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's pretty stereotypical looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of dog that is, but
yeah, that wasn't bad actually.
But yeah, I just love this whole image. If this is the vibe of the movie, I'm pretty excited, honestly. If this is like, he's going for all-star Superman, like, he's got a super dog, he's got the fortress, like, and he hangs out with his like buddy. You know what I mean? If this is what it's going to be like, I'm pretty excited.
It's whimsical, is what it is, right?
It's whimsical.
Well, and it's based off that one page that from All Star.
Mm-hmm. He's taking iconic imagery on purpose.
Yeah.
Right there, look at that.
Yeah.
Rob's
a big ass crater.
Cat guy. Because we got Streaky coming up in the Supergirl movie, possibly.
I mean, dogs are fine. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to have to be tied down to a dog. Like a Ken. Like, I can leave a cat and the cat's fine, but you gotta like kind of baby it.
Rob, you're completely frozen now. Like, you sound great. I know you're gonna kill. You're gonna hate this later when you rewatch it.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'll be back.
Yeah, maybe just turn your camera off. You sound great.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, or you just keep it up. Because you're just frozen. It's like it is a record. Oh,
he's gone. He's down the rabbit hole.
Though,
He's gone.
Guys, what do you think in the chat? Let's take a look at some of the comments while Rob returns.
Zach M said husky and retriever.
Oh, okay. Josh, they probably got at least performance capture from real life. We'll probably do this CGI. Yeah, they could do that. I mean, that's something they could do. I told him to start his mode.
The PETA hackers got to Rob.
Or maybe the anti-cat people, you know? Tim, are you a cat or dog person, Tim? Or is that just Rob? I mean, worst case, we could get Tim Dunbar to sub in for Rob.
Zach M says, and in this film, Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent are alive.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you know what? That really hasn't been confirmed, though, right? Because they're in it, but are they like alive now, or is it a flashback? Maybe they are alive. That would be different.
I would hope so, because like I love the fact that like in comics, Jonathan and Martha are alive right now. I love it when Superman's. I love the Superman family. The bigger, the better. Like I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, the John and Brian era of them being alive, and even in Lois and Clark, right?
Yeah.
Like just having both parents. Yeah, I agree. That was nice. You know?
Yeah, well, because it's like you got Superman, who tends to be the Superman and Lois, who tend to be the paternal figures to the Superman family, right? With say John Henry Irons, kind of like an uncle, and then you've got Superman's parents still alive, you know, and they're like the grandparents. Like, I don't know, I love it. I love the whole thing.
I agree. Yeah, it doesn't need any tragedy. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Krypton exploded for God's sake.
Did you jump? Have you jumped on like to the new DC All In yet?
So I read Absolute Power,
right? Which we're going to talk about, so we don't want to.
Yeah, just not wrecked yet. But yeah, I'm starting to get back into it, man. Like honestly, I've missed reading comic books.
It's a good jumping on point right now, for sure.
It is, dude. It's a good jumping on point. I'm definitely we'll talk about when Rob returns if he ever does.
A lot of people are getting Joker. He's showing up in Robin, Earth 2 Robin. And it's like I ordered my Joker from Big Bad Toy Store because I couldn't afford McFarlane's insane shipping cost to Canada. Like sometimes I can, and when I can, I'll do it. So I gotta wait till November to get my Joker.
Ugh.
Yeah, which is frustrating. I'm gonna make a video and I'll be a month late. And it's like no one really cares by that point.
Does your GameStop at least get stuff somewhat early, Brad? Or
no, they get stuff later too. It's distribution, and distribution to Canada is garbage. Like the timing wise, like is garbage, right? In the States, Texas and California tend to get stuff really early.
We do.
And I don't know about the rest of the states. I see it a lot from Texas and California, and Canada just gets like, we got our stuff so late. So it makes it really hard to even like be competitive on YouTube with my videos. It's like, it's killing my channel for real. Killing it.
I know, but I'm sorry. But you know what? At least you're in Canada, and it's beautiful over there. There's that.
Beautiful in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now.
Place.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're about to hit winter, though.
Well, kind of. We're still in the beginning of October, and winter won't really hit until mid to end of November. That's when it starts getting like really cold out. Like it's chilly, but it's beautiful. Everything is like yellow and red and orange.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. And the beautiful part is I don't have to rake my lawn because I have three boys, and my oldest is 18, and one of his chores is lawn mowing duty. So he goes out once a week and mulches the leaves with the lawnmower as he's mowing the lawn.
Bro, can you believe you have an 18?
I don't got a rake.
You know? Crazy. All right, now that Rob's back, hopefully.
He's here. He's here and he's clear.
Let's hop into our next topic. You know what? We're going to talk about the Penguin.
Yes, let's do.
So I'm all caught up. You guys are on episodes 1 and 2 and 3, or
I have not watched 3 or 4 yet.
Yeah, so Rob and I are on episode. We've finished 1 and 2.
All right, so this will be. We'll keep this spoiler free because I think we can talk about it without spoiling it. But anyways, yeah. So we started watching the Penguin. Rob, let's start off with you, buddy. What do you think so far? What are your thoughts on the Penguin?
I think the show's phenomenal. It keeps me anticipated.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is he going to get out of this? It's so crazy because I don't see Colin Farrell in the Penguin, and he's just a remarkable actor because like I don't even see him at all. I don't hear his voice, and he's just Penguin. I thought like everything that's going on with the kid and stuff is great. The humor is there, but it's dark, of course, and I'm really excited to see where it's going. And I'm like, after the show's over, like Beth watched, I think, part of episode 1 with me, so I've been explaining to her like what's going on and stuff. So it's cool. I like it.
So I watched episode 1 and 2 today, finally, and I love how it's like it's a clear bridge between the previous movie and the one that will be upcoming.
Yeah.
Right? It because they obviously have a story they want to tell with the next movie, and Penguin had to be somewhere for that, right? And they're telling that story now, and it's not just filler, right? Like some of the Marvel shows, I got the feeling like She-Hulk felt very fillerish to me, you know. Whereas with this show, it feels like it's completely worth it. Like it feels like every episode is they tried to craft something that would be worth sitting down and binging or putting on once a day to watch. The cinematography is amazing. The color palette and the color grading is excellent. Their use of shadows without overdoing it is fantastic. As far as Colin Farrell goes, I can still see a little bit of him there. Like occasionally some of his own sound and demeanor will come out just lightly, like he just a little bit, and I can notice like, oh yeah, like in the eyes, I can see like that look he gets in his eyes, like Colin Farrell look. And I'm like, okay, every now and then I'm reminded, okay, that's Colin Farrell. But then that just puts me more at awe. It doesn't break it for me because I'm like, damn, that is some damn good makeup they got him in. Like that whole fat chin with the scar on it. And like the hair on, like it's just, they've done such a good job creating the Penguin, right? And he's such a different version of the Penguin than anything we've been used to in the comics, you know. But for the world that they're creating with this Batman universe, like he works so well. And I just love so far watching him masterfully. It seems like he's bumbling at times, but he's not. It is quite masterfully. He's playing everyone against everyone. And I'm just gonna guess, because I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna guess by the end, everyone dies. As in, like everyone that stands in his way, everyone that was like a mind, like, and I'm gonna guess that the kid might even die in the end too. Like I just feel like everyone is disposable to Oswald at this point.
No, I agree with you both. It's fantastic. It's making me like the Batman movie more than I originally did.
I would like to see Batman on the news though. Like if he can't be in it, I would like to see a little bit more connecting.
Yeah,
right.
Because like when they were doing the drop heist scene, I was like, you would think that Batman would somehow be involved, but like
he's gone. Yeah. And crime is at an all-time high right now. So where's the Batman? You know?
Yeah.
So they should be putting him on the news. Like there should be stories like the Batman seen in West End, Gotham, blah blah blah, with like maybe, you know, maybe like a cell phone footage of him just kind of in the shadows, you know, something like that. So they don't actually have to have him in the movie. They can maybe reuse some footage, you know, or unused footage from the first movie and put it in there. But a little bit more connecting, it would have been nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, wait till you guys get to the most current episodes. They're pretty.
I love the scenes
epic.
with Sal and how he's working both. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it feels very. I mean, you can watch this without even seeing the Batman movie, right? It just stands alone so well.
It's very like Sopranos-ish.
Yep. It's very good. Very well written. I think it's on the level of, I think it's written as well as being on the level as Breaking Bad. And that's saying a lot. I love Breaking Bad, but I just like every episode, there's like, he gets into shit. And like the walls seem like they're caving in on him, and he gets out of it every episode. Like
slippery man.
Out of it.
He's such a great talker and quick on his feet. He's a great quick thinker too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I love the fact that they show his mom,
Yeah.
right? So he's got this like, what is his driving force, right? And it's his friggin' mom. I thought that was brilliant. Like why a good amount of why he is the way he is.
I'm curious if we're going to have multiple seasons because I've heard Colin Farrell say it's just hell wearing that suit.
Yeah,
and getting into it.
I hope there's not multiple seasons. Honestly, I hope there's just one. I hope it connects the two movies. Don't wreck it by making another season, right?
Yeah.
Great show, guys. Great show. Definitely check it out if you're not watching it already. With that, we'll move on to one more DC show. Superman and Lois had its season premiere last week. Also had his first third episode aired. I'm caught up on the first 2 episodes, so there will be spoilers. We've all seen the premiere 2 episodes. Rob, we'll start with you again. How you feeling about Superman and Lois?
I am loving this season. It's giving my wife horrible anxiety. She's like watching it with a pillow over her face.
I will say before we continue, guys, if you have not watched Superman and Lois, maybe mute us for the next like 5 minutes. Mute us until the batter comes down. Because there are definite spoilers I think we want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So this is your warning. Spoiler.
Your warning. Here, I don't even type spoilers in there, but you continue.
I thought the acting's phenomenal. Before I get into what I like and what I don't like, I guess what I don't like is the death of Superman has been done so many times that I feel like now that when you see Superman, you're almost like, oh, we're going to get a death of Superman story.
Yeah.
And I
sort of
wish
it a little bit.
I wish we could get past that. It was such a great like comic and done in the movies and stuff. Hell, even Smallville had Doomsday on it in some aspect of it. It was clever how they used the Bizarro to make Doomsday. I like that aspect. But then I'm like, when he was fighting, obviously we figured out that he was going to die or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when he ripped out his heart, I'm like, can he grow a new heart? So then I'm like Googling, can he grow a new heart? No. And then like it gets smashed and I'm like, well, is that actually his heart?
Yeah.
Or was it
a red herring?
Definitely a red herring, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that whole thing was pretty goofy, I thought, though. Like, it was done well, but the whole,
I will say that I loved everything about it, and the callback scenes of when Lois was younger.
Yeah,
she looked like Margot Kidder, which I thought was cute.
Yeah.
But the young Lex just did not work for me.
That was bad.
His hair, and then he had like the full stash, and then he was wearing like a business suit.
Brad, please do that for Halloween, bro.
The dude bad. Is straight up terrifying in like the present day, but like in the past, he was just it wasn't working.
He was like a grizzly bear in the past.
Yeah.
It looks like such a wig that he's wearing on top of his head with that big beard. It's like, you can't make us believe that you're like the owner of LexCorp looking like that.
I mean, he looks like a straight up like Harley rider, like
that's pretty funny. That was
mass and
I will say overall, like it was great, right? Like just the way, it was emotional. The fight scenes were great with Doomsday. I thought they were fantastic. Brad, what do you think?
I did think that like it was like for someone who's just died, like there was, I mean, the family itself was like mourning, but I didn't feel like there was loss for Lana and her daughter and stuff. They were just like, oh, okay, like happened.
It was very TV show sort of lost, right?
Like nobody can shed a tear on television, it seems.
Yeah. So just to back up, as far as like the fight scenes between Superman and Bizarro Doomsday, I wish there was more. Now, I say this knowing that I didn't actually watch the last episode of season 3, so there might have been a lot of fighting in that. I don't know. Like I fell off and I couldn't catch up because I had no way to watch it. So I just jumped in. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. But I do wish there was a little bit more fighting in this episode. The scenes were great, though. They did a great job with their budget, like fantastic job with their budget. I love how they took it out into space. I thought that was fantastic. I was definitely surprised, right? When Lex was like, oh yeah, and bring me his heart. I was definitely surprised, but it made sense. Like, I thought about it after. Doomsday is holding him, right? And you can see his Superman's back. And then he throws him down on the ground, and you still can't see Superman's chest. You can only see his back. And finally the camera only shows his open hold chest at the end. No, when Jonathan takes him to the fortress. It
for
shows
me,
it then.
it was when
It was a shock. Like he opened his hand. He's got the heart in his hand.
When Lois flipped him over and she gasped, like I figured at that point he was missing his heart.
And see, didn't even dawn on me. I just thought she was gasping because he was dead. Right? I didn't put two and two together like an idiot that there was a gaping hole in his chest. So I didn't get that.
What do you think about the whole hologram Superman at the end? Sorry.
Hologram Clark?
Yeah, hologram Clark now being like the Jor-El to his family. Do you think that's how they're going to play this season? This is it for him? And
can I talk about some of season 3, the things that I know about, episode 3?
Yeah. Actually, is it spoilerish or?
It's definitely spoilerish.
All right, don't talk about it.
Okay. So I'll just say, as far as the hologram goes, it was like when I first saw the hologram, the idea of him just being a hologram in the fortress and being relegated to that was really sad to me. But I mean, he's not going to stay dead. The show is called Superman and Lois, so they're going to bring him back somehow. The question is not when; it's how long, how many episodes did they want to keep him gone for, out of commission for, right? Because people show up and they want to see Superman, so you can only keep him out so long before people are going to stop watching the show. The ratings will tank. It's
only like 10 episodes too, right? Like the whole season. I think it made 10 or 13.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So they have to have him in it, because if Doomsday's not dead, so Superman has to face Doomsday again. And he has to, and he's probably going to face him because the center point of the show is family, right? It's always centered on Clark, Lois, Jordan, and Jonathan. And I don't want to wreck anything for you, so we'll just talk about Jordan. Jordan's got powers. I think that the family, with the help of John Henry and Natasha, like, everyone's going to come together to have to defeat this threat, this Omega level threat that even Superman can't beat by himself. And that's going to be, so it's going to be spectacular, right? Like, it's going to be a really good action-packed season because they know it's the last one. So they're just going to pull out all the stops, I think. But we ain't seen nothing yet. And he won't stay dead for long. But I agree. It's good. Like, I think everything about the show is I've always loved that show. The acting is good enough. It's on point. Bitsy Talok does a good enough job playing Lois. Tyler Hoechlin clearly understands the character Superman. So, yeah.
Do you think, just overall, like, I know the reason why it's ending mainly is the CW's kind of changed. Owners, not really the same network it was. Do you think it hurts the franchise by if they had a Superman TV show and a movie happening at the same time? Like, do you think that's too much? Does it like oversaturate it a little bit? Rob, we'll go to you with this.
I personally never understood the reason why you can't have two. I mean, you have the Flash and you had the movie Flash. You even had Superman Returns in Smallville. But for some reason, they don't like to do that. I don't think it's oversaturation. I think it's stupid that they can't have two entities that people can't, like, oh, it's not the same. Like, I think they don't give people enough credit. But I do think, from what I understand, is they are ending it because of the Gunverse. Yeah,
that's my understanding too. It could go both ways, right? Because you never know. Like, it may oversaturate the supermarket, Superman market, the supermarket. It may,
and that worked actually as a phrase.
Right. It may oversaturate it. People might, but then again, I feel like the general movie going people are not necessarily. Rob has something to say. Yes, Rob, I see that Green Lantern.
That's what I'm fiddling with.
I got us that.
The general movie-going public might not be the same. Like, there's going to be overlap, but might not be the same as the people that are going to watch the TV show.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so you don't know. So there might not be overlap. In the end, having Superman on TV might bring more exposure to the character that makes people want to go and see the movie, a different take on him. So, it could go either way as far as them doing that. But generally what they do is they guard their top money makers, their top characters, and they don't usually like to have them in movies and TV shows at the same time. Superman and Batman are the ones they like to keep doing one or the other.
Well,
usually.
They even couldn't use Aquaman, I think, in the Justice League cartoons as much because of the Aquaman TV show that they were trying to pilot.
Oh. Yeah, because
I remember it was they used that Black Manta ripoff villain in the Justice League, in the first season of Justice League, the cartoon.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Devil Ray.
Devil Ray. That's right. That was odd. It was an odd time. Yeah, I could have gone both ways. I remember, God, we're so old, man, or I'm so old. I remember when Superman Returns came out. It was Smallville season 3 or 4 finale.
Yeah.
And like, I remember going into that summer so hyped for Superman Returns, thinking, oh, it's going to be so much better than Smallville. And they come back to Smallville. You know, Smallville's way better than that movie. You know, I love Superman Returns, but Smallville, has definitely become more cherished for me.
And see, I felt like Smallville got a little cheesier with every season.
Oh, dude, got a lot cheesier with every season.
Because I watched it because Arthur, my son, watched the whole thing twice.
Yeah.
And so I watched a bunch by myself, and then I would catch like multitudes of episodes here and there watching with Arthur. And it was like, I could tell what they're trying to do here, but it turned like the world of DC into the equivalent of when DC just a couple years ago started releasing all these teen graphic novels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like to limited success, and they arguably had their low points. Like, they weren't exactly like writing gold. They were just trying to market the characters in new ways to a younger audience. That's what they were doing with the CW. And so like, I already had an idea of what Superman was supposed to be like, right? I grew up on Christopher Reeve, and I grew up on the Superboy TV show. And so like, not having all those staples in the show was like, already that was like, okay, no costume, no actual flights. Okay, so it's him in Smallville. All right. But then it turned like everything to do with the Superman universe. It like tried to mush everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like stuff from like later on in his life, they like brought it forward to his youth, and they teen dramaed it right up. And so it didn't really appeal to me that much.
I
love Superman Returns by comparison. It's not the best movie, but it definitely has like certain things going for it for sure.
It's interesting about Smallville. I liked the seasons were long.
That's
a product of his time.
Yep.
Most of the season, it paved the way. But I can't disagree with anything you're saying. I still love that shit so much.
Yeah. Well, it's got a soft spot in your heart because you watched it all, right? And there was nothing else at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay, Lois and Clark had finished. What, 97?
97, 98.
Was it 98? Yeah. And there was nothing on DCU. I think there was like one season of Birds of Prey at some point.
Yeah, that's right.
I never really got into that. Or Gotham.
I couldn't get into Gotham, man. I tried.
Yeah.
Lois and Clark. I loved Lois and Clark.
Yeah, that show. I remember watching the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And how stoked I was for that, especially when he was trying on all the different suits that his mom made.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah. I mean, I love that show. But you're right. It was definitely different. If those shows were made today, like even if Arrow was made today, like on HBO Max, instead of on the CW, would have been such a different show.
The first season of Arrow and Flash were
great,
top-notch, phenomenal. But then the second season was like okay, and then after that, it kind of like waned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I watched the first couple seasons of all three of those shows, and then I was like, I fell off.
I ended up watching every season, but I don't know why. I had to.
I gave up on the Flash whenever it got to the point where they're always having little side conversations. I go, okay,
Yeah.
let me come talk to you for a minute. It was just it got a little much.
I think like with the CW shows in general is like you start out in first and second season with like Clark or Oliver and whoever being the main character, but then you bring in all these like other people, it waters it down. Then you're getting these side stories, and the stories aren't even about the main character anymore. It's about like the you know, these are people, and everybody knows the secret. So it just, I don't know. It's just
they go on for too long, and you have to like expand the cast.
Did you guys watch Constantine?
You know, I watched a few episodes. I liked it. I did like it. Yeah, I liked the actor who played him. He was great.
Yeah, and they brought him back for Legends, DC Legends.
That's right, they did.
I only watched like one or two seasons of Legends, or whenever they did the crossovers, but I could not get into that show.
I like Legends. I honestly, on all the shows, I dropped off after a few years, but
I think for me, it was just that they weren't using Wave Rider; they were using it as a ship, and that was like no-go for me.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that at least they reference Wave Rider.
Yeah,
even if it was just the name of the ship. We're switching gears a little bit, guys, from the world of movies and TVs to the world of comic books.
Oh,
Absolute Batman #1 came out last week. Rob, you read it too, right?
I have not, but that's okay. You guys can talk about it. No,
it's okay. We don't really have to get into spoilers on this one.
I wanted to get into spoilers.
No, honestly, you can get into spoilers. I don't know if I'm going to have time anytime soon to read it. So by the time I get to, I probably will forget about it.
Then we're going to do spoilers.
We have to do spoilers. We can't really talk about it and not.
That's a good point. Yeah, the whole concept of it.
Right?
You know?
Otherwise, we're just like, dude in a bat suit does some stuff.
All right.
No spoilers,
we'll take it away, right? Brad. What did you think about Absolute Batman?
Well, I can stomach the idea of all these major changes to Batman because they wanted to do something fresh, something different, something new.
Yeah.
And they decided not to take our main continuity and make these changes, which I thought was fantastic. They made a brand new continuity and they decided to do brand new things. And I like it. That's respectful of the legacy characters. And it was just neat, you know, that they were like, instead of Alfred being Thomas and Martha Wayne's butler, you know, he's a government agent, basically. He's like a sniper and a fighter. And the fact that his mom is still alive is like a total game changer. And his dad was a teacher and not a doctor, right? And he was shot at the zoo and not in Crime Alley. You know, that Thomas didn't travel the world. That Bruce didn't travel the world to learn how to fight and learn everything, but he worked at various places around Gotham to, like, you know, learn how the city works. So he worked in the in like the sewers and he just worked everywhere around Gotham, you know, so he could learn about how the city was connected and things like that. And he took criminology courses in college and all these various courses. So he's very self-made, right? It's not like he traveled the world and like learned under.
I like the way you're explaining it too, like that he's from Gotham, like he's made of Gotham, right? Like he
born
learned
and bred
all about
from
the
Gotham.
city, and he stayed there.
Yeah, and he's oh geez, what is he? He's help me out here. He's not his job, right? He's not a contractor. He's
was it construction or was it?
Well, he works construction, but he's not just construction. He's anyway, he's got a blue collar job, right? That makes it so he can afford all this stuff. His job is, it's probably in the chat. Actually, I'm gonna look at the chat. He's an engineer. Thank
There you
you.
go.
Thank you. Yeah, he's an engineer, so he's making good money, but he's not making like rich guy money, right? And so, and he grew up with, you know, Edward, and he grew up with, who else was in there? Selena, and geez, I have to remember, Killer Croc, and there's like a slew of people who are from his past who are part of his rogues gallery, minus Selena, she's his love interest. He grew up with. They all grew up together. Waylon, that's it. Waylon. Yeah, so I just think that it's like it's a completely new direction that they're going in, and they can tell entirely different stories with this Batman. You know, that were never even possible. Like we've seen changes to the Batman lore before here and there, but nothing like this. This is by far the biggest new continuity out of canon, like out of like the main canon continuity change that I've ever seen for Batman in my life. Like it's everything is different. Like virtually the only things that are the same is that he's Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, and
No,
Gordon is still a good guy, but he's the mayor. He's not the commissioner. He's the mayor.
I personally love the art as well. I know it's a hulking, you know, kind of Batman, and it worked for the story, and the way he visually is represented in there. Yeah. Like I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the suit is not my favorite look for the suit, but that's also because sometimes things just have to grow on you, right? Like the Rebirth Batman suit had to grow on me at first, before I got used to it.
Rob, you got to check it out, buddy. You got to check it out. The people in the chat seem to be liking it as well. Rob, did you read the Absolute Power yet?
I have been so busy with editing, I haven't been able to read anything.
It's all right. Brad, did you read it?
Oh yeah, I've read it.
All right, we'll do a quick review because I don't like when Rob's so quiet over there. So this is
it's fine.
No, buddy.
So is this? It's kind of like the Ultimate Universe for Marvel. It's just like their own kind of.
I would say it's almost
canon.
It is, but it seems like more riskier than in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, like it's
like.
Yeah, that's
so. Absolute Power leads into that.
No, they're completely separate. It's very confusing.
Okay. Because like Absolute does, like you can read. There's Absolute Power, and then there's DC All In, which directly comes from Absolute Power.
Right, but then Absolute Batman has nothing to do with Absolute Power, though, right?
No,
like
no, yeah,
that is a little confusing. The titles are similar, but there's like, there's no, and that's what I think about Absolute Batman. There's no like, this is a new world. It's completely fresh.
This is the jumping on point. Like if there's ever been a jumping on point for a Batman comic, this is the perfect jumping on point because all of us are reading it for the first time.
Now, Absolute Power is basically just a miniseries within the regular DC continuity. I loved it. 4 issues, very classic. I just dug it. I love the designs, the art. The story was simple. Brad, what do you think, sir?
Well, I read Absolute Power, like all 4 issues, and I read all the tie-ins for Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. I think maybe Flash. I read all the tie-ins, right? And it was a fantastic story. The heroes are up against the wall. You have Amanda Waller, who's never trusted the heroes and thinks they're more of a liability than a help to the world, and blames them for most of the world's woes. And so she, in her own twisted mind, thinks she's doing what's right for humankind she uses the Brainiac Queen, who she has under her control, and Amazo with the Batman. What was it? Failsafe, and they create these Amazos that can suck up the hero's powers, but they suck them up in a way that they're supposed to never get them back, because the Amazos have the ability to go back in time a little bit to just before they got destroyed and heal themselves. And so you never get your powers back is the idea. So the heroes, like once they get depowered, they were supposed to be depowered forever. and she puts some of the heroes in prison, and even some of the non-metas, like people who don't have powers, but they're part of that group, they go into prison as well. And she thinks that that's like mercy for them. But of course, the heroes are having none of it, and so they hatch a plan and they revolt back, and they have to figure out how to get their powers back, and they have to figure out how to stop Amanda Waller and stop the Amazos and that whole thing. And yeah, it's a really simple story in itself, but
Brad, you're really good at giving synopses of stories.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Very well articulated, and you remember so much. Like, I forgot half the things you just said as far as from the story from when I read it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that did happen.
Yeah,
Great memory, dude. And yeah, no, that, I mean, dude, you hit it. Like,
yeah, it was you know what?
yeah,
It was an interesting crossover and a summer crossover event that didn't involve an actual crisis, because most of them involve some kind of like crisis, and this one didn't really have a crisis, right? But as someone who reads Superman comics and Batman comics, I could see how, looking back, all this stuff was building up. Like, DC planned this quite a while ago. They had this in the works for sure.
yeah. And I like how you pointed out it was not a crisis event,
No.
you know, and there's some good twists and turns to the story. So
Yeah.
I recommend picking it up. Like, I enjoyed it, just the 4 issues I read. I might actually go read the tie-ins now. I enjoyed it so much.
Do you
That's
remember the end when they get their powers back?
Mm-hmm.
How not everybody got their powers back?
Oh, I missed that little nugget.
Yes, and some people got different powers. So Plastic Man is different. Fire and Ice, I believe their powers are reversed. They're switched. So, yeah, and then the question is, they asked the question, right, at one point. I'm pretty sure it was in Absolute Power issue 4. I don't think it was in DC All In. It might have been. But they're asking about, you know, who else may have gotten powers and who else's powers have changed. And they're different. So DC has things up their sleeve for sure with this. This is leading into some like cool events. Like they are already like 3 steps ahead of us.
I would like to see this female, the Brainiac Queen, in action figure format. So, Farland, if you're listening, guys, that'd be a cool figure. All right, let's switch over. Brad, thank you for that beautiful synopsis.
Yeah, well, what did you think? You didn't really.
I loved it, dude. No, you're so good with your thoughts. I love the dude. I disagree, 100%. I really enjoyed it. It's that and Absolute Batman.
Yeah.
Got me excited to reading new stuff from DC. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be continuing with the All In universe, the All In initiative. You know, we have the New 52, Rebirth, All In, New Frontier. You know, we have a lot of new initiatives there.
Are you going to read Absolute Superman?
Oh yeah, dude. Tonight after we get off, I'm going to download that.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, friends, let's get into meat of the show. We're going to bring Rob back from, not reading his comic books, Solitude.
There is
You know?
a question for me, I guess.
Oh, is
somewhere
there?
in here.
For
Here.
Rob? Oh, question for Rob.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Let's see, for Rob. Are you happy who they chose to actually play the role of Green Lantern, John Stewart, and Al Jordan? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm gonna see what they do with it. I don't have any, like, I don't know them as actors that well, so I don't really have anything to base it off of. But I'm just gonna wait and see how they do.
Actually, I love Kyle Chandler, who's playing Hal Jordan. He's been a bunch of things.
I'm sure I've seen him, but he doesn't, like, it's not like I can't think of what he's been in.
My favorite role he was in is the Peter Jackson King Kong. He played the actor they brought on the ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I might have seen that like twice, but
It's
I don't
good.
know.
I'd like to see him portray Hal Jordan at that age. Well, you guys already know my thoughts, right? I know what they're trying to do with Hal Jordan, but I'd rather see a contemporary Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
I wish him well. I hope he does a great job. There's nothing against him.
It does feel like, even though I'm a Kyle fan first, they do go out of their way never to give like Hal a proper. I mean, they did give him a movie, and it didn't do well. So I guess they tried to give him his due.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're going to go with John Stewart because he's a great Green Lantern and he's a lot of people's Green Lantern,
Yeah.
right? And then B, like it's the modern age, so they're gonna have like a diversity like agenda, right? They're gonna be like, okay, we have to make sure we're representing and being diverse. That's gonna be like a thing that they're doing. So yeah, like because like they don't want like every character to be like a white dude, which is what old school characters are. Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Flash, Hal Jordan, they're all white dudes. And I'd be fine with that because like they're just the characters to me and that's what I grew up with. But I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure it's very diverse.
Yeah, and the great thing is John Stewart is
a great character, so why not?
Exactly. And you will get a seasoned, grizzled Hal Jordan. Maybe you'll get some flashbacks of him being a little bit younger.
Yeah, he's changing the lore to do it because John Stewart and Hal Jordan are contemporaries. So like John Stewart, like in like the world of comics, when John Stewart became a Green Lantern, I don't believe Hal was a Green Lantern for super, super long before John Stewart.
True.
Like in timeline wise, right? Like, I mean, yes, John Stewart didn't even exist for like a long time. But like when they brought him into the fold, they kind of, I believe they retconned him in there as like, there really wasn't a huge amount of time in between them. So they're basically contemporaries, right? Minus like 5 years or whatever, a couple of years.
Bathan one, I'm sorry. We changed it to Tuesday this week. That's a commitments on Thursday. But I like that people were actually expecting us a certain day of the week. It's very nice.
It's actually Wednesday or Thursday, but today we just made it.
Hey, we did Tuesday. All right, guys.
I mean, the Comic-Con's coming up, so we got to get this in here.
We might do another show next week, depending on how much Comic-Con news.
Are you skipping that Supergirl?
Oh, you're right.
And is there anything before it?
I don't think so. The other stuff with the McFarlane statues. I think we did all this.
Yeah, we did all that.
Actually, we didn't do this.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do them.
No, we didn't talk about that.
All right. Rob, you've been too quiet. Talk to us, buddy. What do you think?
Spill the beans, pal.
I love that it's metallic paint, and I do like the head sculpt. There's a couple things that I love about this, but I've kind of already moved on from this body buck with the newer Green Lantern bodies because
you made a big investment in the new body bucks.
Yeah, I think I ordered like, what did I say, 8 or 9 of them. Yeah,
easy tiger.
So anyway, what I like about this one versus the original one is the paint, but 2, you now get the triangles, the black triangles on the side of his body that you didn't have previously because it was just all green.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Dang it.
Yeah. So this is like more comic accurate. And what I love about this figure is it feels like a DC Direct figure. Like looking at it, the head sculpt and everything, even the flesh tone compared to like the old one, it just screams DC Direct to me. So that's why I want it more than anything else.
I feel like you're selling me on this figure right now.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because I was going to skip it. You're right. I do like the metallic look to it.
Like it's not going to be my my main Hal Jordan, but it's almost like a designer series like Green Lantern.
That's a good way of putting it. I when I first saw that body buck being reused, I was like, again.
Yeah, the body proportions aren't the best. I think like the arms are too long, the legs are too short. The
legs are too spindly and short.
Yeah, but this one has fists, whereas the other one had an open hand and a I forget what the other hand was, like a weapon holding hand or something.
Yeah. It's not bad. I just I would rather the black parts. I mean, I've thought this since the beginning of this buck being used. I'd rather all the black parts just be smooth.
Yeah,
like without all the extra detail. I don't mind the extra detail in the green parts, but I'd rather the black parts be smooth. And I've always thought that. Some people think that the head sculpt is just Ultraman's head sculpt again, and I disagree.
No, it's not.
The hair, I believe, if you look very close, may be a retool, like a slight retool
Yeah.
of the hair, because the Ultraman comes down into a point, and that one clearly doesn't. But when you look at it, like swoosh for swoosh, it's very, very similar. But the face, I believe, is a new sculpt. Absolutely.
I thought you said swoosh for swoosh.
Yeah. I just hope that the back of his hair isn't like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's okay that the top is kind of messy, but I really hope that the back just kind of goes down and the sides go back rather than everything kind of going off to one side, because it's just, I don't know. I prefer that look.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't pre-order it.
Did it
but
go up for pre-order?
I'll definitely pick it up. Pardon?
Did these go up for pre-order? Because I didn't pre-order them because I didn't.
Sorry.
Whenever there's a Walmart.
I didn't order one. Like, I ordered a Superman online.
Okay.
From Evil Bay, but I didn't order Hal Jordan. Sorry.
Okay, because
yeah,
Walmart never puts their stuff up typically. When it's supposed to.
I misspoke.
So like I never ordered this or Superman, even though I would like to get both. So
I believe it'll probably come to GameStop in Canada. Like, I don't think it's a Walmart exclusive in Canada because our McFarlane distribution's crap.
I was looking overseas at some of like Sgt. Pepper and stuff, but like their shipping is to America is like $140 or $150 just to ship. That's just shipping. And I'm like, yeah, no.
I kind of dig it, man.
Yeah, see the triangles on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the shiny part. I like the fact it's shiny. I wish the gloves didn't have all that detail though, too.
Yeah, I mean,
I love all the detail on it. It looks like a movie.
It almost looks like a statue, like especially that second slide, like, or the third, whatever that. Yeah, that one. It just looks really good.
I'm gonna pick this up. God dang
it. Did we just convince you?
Yeah, really did.
I think this body works well for John, but I think it's because of the long torso, like the accent in the belly area, the abs. It just looks kind of weird, but how far down it goes, I guess.
It's so much bigger than a lot of other McFarlane DC figures too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's a girthy figure. What do you guys think of this one?
Of course. I love it. Love it. I mean, I know we've gotten this figure, obviously, but I love the S on it and the cape.
Yeah.
I mean.
So what I like about it is a great body. Like, yes, the legs are a little too thin. Yes, it needs double elbow joints. I like the blue. However, the Superman from the Atomic Skull 2-pack is probably my preferred colors.
Yeah.
I like that lighter blue.
Yeah.
For sure. I do like that this chest is on there instead of like raised, but I kind of liked how big the raised one was, whereas this one's more of like a traditional S.
Yeah. It's the marketing S.
Yeah, I wish the S on the back was all yellow with the black lines.
Yeah.
Instead of having the red through it.
I wish it was done like the Superpowers one, where it was the yellow was stamped in there and the lines were actually just the fabric showing through.
I'm ready
this version. I like the red.
I'm ready to retire this head sculpt. Like, we've used it so much that I'm ready to see a different head for Superman.
Yeah.
I really wish, sorry, Brad.
Go ahead.
I really wish that the ankles were retooled at some point to give us, like, instead of the ball joints. Like, I have I know it's probably not going to work, but the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, I was wondering if those ankles were. It's probably too bright of a red to work here.
I switched some ankles one time before. And I have to remember what I switched them with. They were molded red ankles.
Okay.
Right, and they worked. When I figured, I'll message you when I figure it out.
Yeah.
I
wonder if it's like Red Tornado or Flash or.
It wasn't Red Tornado, no.
But something's just got to be done about those ankles. It's just those ball joints. They had plenty of time. I know they don't want to retool stuff, but
Well,
I'm still gonna pick this up. Like I definitely want this figure. It looks great.
yeah.
I'm just. It's a good
That's a great
send off,
question.
if anything.
How many Supermans do each of us have? I
Lots.
think it's a few hundred.
Yeah,
Lots.
I'd say
it's
at least
kind of like
Lots.
like for me, it's like Spider-Man, Batman, any of these. Like I want every rendition of the figure.
Yeah.
For the most
Yeah.
part.
Pretty
So-
much.
So I wish that the S was not shiny.
Oh,
That's my biggest thing. Yeah, because then it doesn't show up properly in certain light. Like it looks darker. So I just
Yeah.
wish that they used like the same color red paint rather than, the metallic.
I love
It would have been nice if they took that S and stretched it out just a little bit,
Yeah, I agree with that.
right? Just stretch it
Yes.
out. The same thing. You can use the marketing S, right?
Yeah.
But stretch it out. That would have been awesome in like a plain red. And
Yeah.
the ankles. I really wish they changed the ankles. It needs double jointed elbows. The cape, actually, the S on the back of that cape is the same as the Toy Biz.
Okay.
It's exact same as the Toy Biz S.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he comes with a cloth goods cape that's tucked into his neckline. That's like,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good figure overall, and it's going to be like I think it's an upgrade to Action Comics 1000 for sure.
Yeah.
Some
agree
people
with
may
you,
disagree
Brad.
because the S is different. Some people may disagree because they like the Action
The-
Comics 1000 S.
I agree with you, Brad. Like I think for the cape, the official seal like logo, that
Yeah.
emblem is fine on the cape, but I agree with you. Like the chest should never be the official logo. It should be stretched just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I like the official logo. I know what you're saying, that it doesn't make a lot of sense. It should be a little
For a
stretched
shirt,
across
no.
the chest for a shirt. But I just dig it. It's a very like superpowers, very like old school way of
Yeah.
making a figure, right? Where plop, there's a logo. You know what I mean? Like,
And they could have
I
given
don't
him 2 fists. He's
Does he
got
not
a
have-
fist and an
oh.
open hand, doesn't he?
know. Does he?
Yeah. And 2 flight hands. It's like, come on. Give him 2 fists. We've been asking that for ages. Like, the thing is, they have the body parts. He could have been given double jointed elbows very easily from another Superman figure that everyone customized. They could have
I
just
don't think
used
they
that.
like to take parts from other figures and put them together for some reason.
Yeah, which is mental. They really shouldn't. They should shy away from that thinking, because then they can make better figures.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
They have all the
Especially with
parts.
like
Nothing needs to be tooled. Just take parts. Put your finger on the fan of the pulse of what the fans are saying, and if 90% of the fans are saying we wish that this figure had double jointed elbows, now's your time to fix that problem and do right by the fans and earn
Yeah.
some more love and support from the fans. And then they release it with single jointed elbows, and sure, I'll be okay with it, but you better believe this is going to receive like a certain amount of hate just because they're like, come on, yeah, I got double jointed elbows.
yeah,
And I can't say that I disagree with them, because it's like they could have, and they didn't.
Yeah.
For some
I
reason.
definitely agree. Like they need to start thinking about the figures that they already have, just mold it in a different color plastic and then send it on its way.
Yeah. Yeah, but it does look good. Like, I am excited to get it.
Admire your passion, both. Comes to the elbows and the joints. Very nice.
Well, that's how you keep the license longer, right?
Yeah,
You pay attention. It's the little things that fans notice that you're not doing, which makes them think that you're not frequenting any of the boards. Like, it would be to their benefit to have someone that like once a week or once every couple of days checks the message boards and goes and joins the Facebook groups and hears what fans are saying about the product so they could make a better product. That's just good business.
yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about it being at Walmart. That's always going to be easy to get.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you wait
get
long
that.
enough, most times it will show up. Like right
Dude, mine
now,
never show up, man. I gotta
Like-
my Walmart shelves are bare. There's not one DC
Yeah,
multiverse.
mine are bare, but like Shazam the Vampire Shazam and the Max Mercury are just now showing up at mine.
I never saw those in mine. They were just gone. They were gone.
Yeah.
Brad's got to go to GameStop if he's lucky.
Yeah.
You know,
And get it late.
get it late.
No, I got mine from Evil Bay. I'm not even gonna lie, because I wanted to be able to review it in a timely fashion. I was sick of getting.
I mean that
by
is what I have.
information.
I would be tempted to like spend
Well,
a little bit more on, you know, because
Who
it's
said-
Superman.
There's a difference between perfect and perfection.
Like
Lesson.
Rob is perfect.
Far
And
from
you are perfection, Ahsoka.
Oh, and you're both, Brad.
Oh,
Look at that,
dude.
guys, look at cheese. People will love boys. Speaking of love, I know someone who's very in love with this figure, Mr. Rob D. Toys. Got very
Yes.
excited with this. Actually, not figure. This statue
Yeah.
of Batfleck. Rob, come on, talk about it, buddy.
Well, I was just talking, so I was going to give it to Brad, but
No, you go ahead, buddy. Take it away.
Yeah.
Um, this is. I know Ahsoka and I have had conversations in the past. Like, this is my Batman to his '89 Batman. Like,
I'm a
and-
Keaton guy, but
and
Brad
I
Pitt,
love Keaton too, but
not as much
like,
as
this to me like is the whole package. Like, it's closer to the comics. You know, like I like the black bat suit for Keaton, but only Keaton. Like, I don't want to see it in the comics and whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love that this is like a wired cape. This is resin. So it's going to be a premium. So it's probably going to be like upwards in cost, but it just looks
Sorry.
awesome.
this guy's comment is hilarious. I live in Hong Kong. Space is definitely an issue for us, but there's always room for this Batman statue.
Yeah.
I
In
can
the
keep it in the
toilet.
toilet, though.
Like, I don't have any room for this.
That's a dedicated collector, my
Yeah.
friends. Right there. What are you willing to do for space?
I mean, I'm looking to get more shelving units. So like, this is definitely making a spot.
Would be great. You get rid of your like desk, your computer, put a
Yeah.
shelf. It makes no sense. Like, what are you gonna do? You
I
know?
mean, like this reminds me of the DC Direct icons that the Superman that had the flowing cape
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Batman. That's what this reminds me of, and I love that the base is the logo.
Yes.
So
Very
yeah,
Hot
I love
Toys
this
esque. You know,
yeah,
Brad. What do you think, buddy?
Looks great. Not my thing. I don't generally collect statues unless they're like cheap.
Smart move,
Yeah.
dude. Smart move.
Yeah. Because that's a whole rabbit hole, right? I might as well collect Funko Pops too.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, God.
fall down that rabbit hole. But it looks nice. It's a
Did
good
it say
job.
that it was 1/6 scale, or was it?
Yeah, it's 1/6.
Yeah.
1/6.
Yeah, you're right. 1/6. And Supergirl though is 1/8 scale.
Yeah. That looks great though. I love his art.
It's pretty dope. I mean, I have my Michael Turner one up there, but
What did her feet look like? I guess we can't see that.
No.
Wait, I just sounded like a perv, didn't I? What did her feet look like? Ooh.
no, you're good, buddy. You're good.
She seems like she'd be wearing roller skates.
Yeah, she's very wholesome.
Yeah, girl next door. Very
Hey, another
excited
Green
for Baz.
Lantern, Simon Baz,
Yeah.
who's already hitting, and actually our good friend of the show, Frank.
Who's in the chat?
He's in the chat. I'm gonna go bring up your.
This is going to hit Texas and California like crazy. There'll be no point in me even friggin' reviewing it because everyone who wants it will already have it, or half the people that want it will have it. And there'll be like 7 reviews up already.
Hey Frank, did you pick it up already? Like, or was it like street dated?
That's the platinum. Oh,
That's the platinum of
Grid.
Grid,
Yeah.
but also there's the platinum of Lightning Lad.
Yeah, there's your classic Lightning Lad.
Yeah. We will get to
Yeah.
the newer style too.
And then
And,
Simon Baz already in hand.
Baz.
Oh, look at the face plates.
Okay.
I like the faceplates and the fact they've gotten away from that card holder.
Yeah.
I
hate
like
to
the
say it, I
face
threw a
plates,
bunch
but at
away.
the same time, like I like having extra heads that you can use for customizing.
Yeah. There is that. I mentioned that. Yeah.
The faceplates are cheaper, probably overall to manufacture. Maybe not to tool, but to manufacture because they're less plastic.
I feel like the plastic's not as nice as like the actual head sculpt of a regular figure, though. It feels like a cheaper plastic. I could be wrong. It's like shinier.
Mm.
I gotta glue my face plates into place. I gotta remember to do that because I'm so afraid of one falling out.
So, what do you think of Lightning Lad?
I like it. It's a very classic Lightning Lad. I have some Legion of Superheroes from my DC Direct days.
Yeah.
So I probably won't. If I see this in the store, I'll pick it.
Like,
Wait.
so the newer one obviously just has his face as like an add-on, and I don't know. Like for me,
The costume is different, isn't it?
Yeah, the costume's different.
Yeah, I like the look of the other costume better.
I'm not a huge Legion fan. Like, I watch the cartoon and I'll read the comics here and there, but I don't have a love for it, so it's not a must-have for me. If I see this, I'll probably pick it up, but I'm not going to go out of my way to order it, I think.
It's a can of worms. That's what this is. This is letting the cat out of the bag right here.
Yeah, because then you need Saturn Girl and exactly.
And it's a whole lot easier letting the cat out of the bag than it is putting that cat back in the bag. So
yeah,
you know, this is a good test though. Like if this figure Lightning Lad does well, maybe we'll get others.
Why would you put a cat in a bag though for?
To throw it over the.
No, I got a joke. I'm not going to make that joke. It was a dark joke. Dank. I would never put a cat in a bag, Ahsoka. It's just the idea of like
putting the cat in the bag, you know.
Yeah. I keep trying to click the arrow on there, but it's on my screen and it's you and it's not me.
Go back to Simon.
Hmm?
We didn't really discuss him.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I'm a Simon Bass fan.
Yeah.
I like him as Green Lantern, so I'm excited about this. People have already brought up the costume not being sculpted, which I agree with. It should be sculpted. Let me see if I can grab my.
Do you? I mean, I don't think he has the gun anymore, but did you want the gun?
The
holster.
Just because he's that's sort of a big part of his first appearance. But here's the old DC Direct one.
Yeah, the DC Direct one's awesome.
I mean, it's pretty rad.
I was wondering if, and Brad, you might like the Commissioner Gordon Batman, if you could take the holster off of that and put it on this.
In theory, you could. It depends. The Commissioner Gordon Batman is on like a pretty thin buck, like a skinnier buck, right?
Yeah, it's the teen body.
Maybe not. I'm just going to leave it as is, though.
This buck is the Blue Beetle buck.
Yes.
And it's also the Silver Age Hal Jordan. I don't have a problem with that buck. In fact, I like that buck, and I've been taking acetone to the Hal Jordan neck area to get rid of it. And you can only hear my voice now, so because that looks like
that way for a while, buddy.
Yeah. For a while. So I'm just gonna flip over to because I think my camera died.
Okay.
There. How's that?
There you go, buddy. Now you're back.
Okay. So I acetoned off the neck, the skin tone of the neck, and so now I've been using that body also because I've been just putting Hal Jordan heads on all these.
This reminds me of when I'm watching something on Netflix and my audio's out of sync with the image for some reason.
Is it out of sync?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me a second.
Leaving again.
Sorry about that. What makes it funnier is like he's the audiovisual guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's got to be his internet connection.
Yeah, it's definitely something. But he's running an Ethernet wire now into the basement.
Maybe his signal's not so good at the source.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
sometimes you got to reset your router, like it's your modem. It's true. But as far as Baz goes, and just like generally what's going on with the collector's edition figures, I think it's the right direction to go in. I mean, I'm with you guys. I would rather see full head sculpts.
Yeah.
Absolutely, any day of the week. Absolutely rather see full head sculpts. And the faceplate changing thing obviously is only going to work on certain figures. Like you couldn't do it with the Flash and have it work. You couldn't do it You couldn't do it. Let's see. I don't know. Let look up and like see another character. Maybe you couldn't do it with Green Arrow, right? If you made a Green Arrow, you couldn't do it with him. You couldn't do it with Shazam. So I hope that this is not like what they're trying to do going forward for all of them. But I understand why they're doing it. But I love the fact that like, okay, so you still get the trading card, but then you get more accessories and you get the face plates, which is something that people wanted from the first start with these collector's editions, right? We didn't want the card holder, you know.
It's definitely the.
But once you had once you had like I had like a bucket full of them, and I was like, what am I going to do with these? So I threw them out. Like I only have a few, and I threw the rest out. And I feel bad saying that, but like, what am I going to do with them all?
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Rob, you're back, buddy, and you're in sync with us.
No, he's not.
Can't hear you, buddy, at all.
Are you not talking on purpose? Okay, he is talking. Is your mic off? No. You could be saying anything. Here, talk again.
Can you hear me?
There it is. We got you, buddy.
No, we still can't hear you, Rob.
I heard it for a sec.
What?
There he is. Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Oh, it would be funnier if you said you didn't hear him.
Oh, I know. I don't want to.
What are you saying? You like to sniff panties? What?
I don't want to do that to the kid. You know?
Okay, so I think there's problems with. Obviously, my internet Xfinity is crap. I'll just say that. But my mic doesn't. My mic doesn't work well with just the webcam, so I'm just using the earpod things.
That's all right,
whatever.
Buddy.
We can understand you.
I've been very amused by this whole scene.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, you pay for internet, and then you like. I have 900 megabytes download speed. I have 23 upload. So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong.
I pay for the best because of stuff like this. I pay for the best possible internet I can get. So I've got like fiber wire.
We can't get fiber here.
Yeah, I got fiber, and then I've got like I never have problems with the camera because you guys know I bought a new camera. I spent like $400 on a webcam, like a really good one, and then I actually bought like I'm using like this is a studio microphone. This is not like this is not one you buy like in Best Buy or whatever. It's an actual studio microphone, and I've got like universal audio gear that I'm running through. So
you do sound great, and you're always very stable connection.
Yeah. So like, but I've paid like out the nose over the years to get this gear so that like I can do stuff like this and not have a problem.
Yeah.
Like I've had to invest money, like serious money into it.
Well, yeah, Rob, are you investing, Rob, into this at all? Do you even care?
Well, I mean, I'm using my actual. I was using my actual camera,
buddy.
Yeah, which is
a thing. I'm all washed out. I'm sitting under a big light.
I mean, I can only hear out of one ear, so I think I'm going deaf. I don't know.
Your brother's hilarious, dude. So, yeah, stop buying toy. Robin buys some. All right. I'm sorry.
How are your brothers in the
anyway?
Chat? I love it. It's like if my sister was in the chat. Why are you spending all this money on this? You have 2 kids. What's wrong with you? You have nothing better to do? Why do you go?
No, I'm obsessed.
You know.
I just want to say that I am looking forward to Baz. I'm definitely going to pre-order him. However, I do wish that he was on the newer body. That's all.
I don't think he was casually flexing. That was very intentional flexing.
Wait. Can we back up? You wish he was in the newer body, like the one that looks like a full body sweater?
Yes.
Ugh. That's the only thing I don't like about the new Green Lantern figures. I
wish
you
don't like those.
I don't mind the texture as long as they're all unison.
I love
the texture. I've said it in every video. It looks like a sweater.
I get that, but like I want them all to be unified.
Okay, I do get that. I understand that. I do understand that. I just wish it was smooth.
They should all be different. They're all different suits.
But they're all generated by the ring.
Yeah, but with your own imagination. Maybe someone likes texture. Maybe
you don't have to keep imagining the suit.
You know,
it's like if you stop thinking about it and fighting, you're naked in space.
I think it's a better body buck, better proportions than the Blue Beetle buck. Although I do like the Blue Beetle buck.
Yes, I do think it's better body proportions for sure. Yeah.
I like the texture. I like the sweater.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like you can.
I do.
totally looks like a skin tight sweater.
Speaking of a skin tight sweater, what about our boy Mr. Terrific over here?
Very
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, I like this figure. I like the cloth goods jacket. Oh, look, this whole pose is dope. Look at that.
It is dope.
I wonder if they've done anything with the jacket, because the jacket is supposed to have, what is it, fair play down the sleeve and something on the back. Hold on, let me just see if I can quickly see him on my shelf here. If I can, I'll grab him, because the DC Universe Classics version is accurate to at least its time. Fuck, I can't see it. I've got so many figures all up in here. Anyway, it's supposed to have, like, you know, writing on the jacket. So I'm just wondering if they actually put that on there. But I love it. I think it looks great. I love the red on the face, because he's had black and he's had red, and I love the look of the red.
I like the red, actually.
Yeah.
I have the new 52 one with the black, so I'm very happy with
So I'm guessing the platinum's probably going to be black.
I would think so.
Probably, yeah.
That's a good assumption.
I don't know. Like I think that the cloth coat, I don't know. Like, I go back and forth about that, because I don't think it was well executed. I don't know if it was well executed with
it's puffy. It's very puffy.
There's another picture of it
keep wanting to say Digger, but you know who I'm talking about. Captain Cold, or not Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang.
Oh, I thought there was. Never mind.
Yeah, try to find it on their website. I can't even find it on their website. I know there's more pictures of it, though. I'll find it.
Yeah. I just hope they did the coat properly. I mean, you know what? It would have been kind of neat if he came with extra spare arms, right?
Yeah.
And he came with a molded jacket, but it wasn't glued to his torso. And you could actually remove the bare arms and put on the jacket arms and put the jacket on. I think that
just like DC directed.
That would have been a better move, in my opinion, than having a cloth goods jacket. Because depending on what the fabric is, if it's a pleather, they've been known to deteriorate over time, and it might or it might not. It's a gamble.
Yeah. Like, I think they pulled it off nicely with Jonah Hex. Like, it was a very thin fabric.
Yeah, but he wears a leather jacket.
Well.
Mr. Terrific wears a leather jacket, so they have to go with some kind of pleather.
Yeah.
I mean, they could go with real leather, but man, that'd be
great.
That'd be a whole other story.
Here's a $75 figure with real leather. I don't know who the Grid is, but he looks like Metallo. He looks
the Grid is Cyborg.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
From
Forever Evil.
Yeah, Forever Evil.
Yeah, he gets infiltrated on the inside and becomes Grid.
Man, my memory is so bad. I really got to go back and read that.
Yeah, Are you guys excited? Like, are you figuring you're going to buy this guy?
I will, just because I think it looks really cool. I really like the design.
I was not a fan of Forever Evil, and so I will be passing. And I say that just because I'm not a fan of the Crime Syndicate at all.
Really?
But I still have the figure.
Tell us what you really think.
Yeah, that's very strong opinions on that.
I just don't like the doppelganger idea. I think other than Bizarro, I think it's like, I don't know.
But they're from a whole other world where good is evil and evil is good.
That. Like, and Lex Luthor's good and everything.
And
like, I get it. I just never cared for those stories. I think it's because I didn't care for like multiverse stories back then. I liked having just one universe.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. But that's because that's where I started reading comics too. So
right. Yeah, and there wasn't a multiverse.
No.
At that point, no, because they'd done away with it at Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like, you can see this is largely a reuse of the Collectabuild Cyborg.
Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, for me,
the figure looks great, right?
Yeah, it does look good. For me, I'm not sure. Like, am I gonna, I have no desire in getting this, getting Grid as a character, because I don't know who I would like pose him with, right? Because he's Cyborg. So I can't really put him on my villain shelf. So like, where am I going to put him? So in that regard, for me, he's an easy pass, even though he looks like really friggin' cool. However,
I like your thought process with that, Brad.
However,
Like
he can. Thank you. He can also be used if you fudge it in there for a time until eventually Todd makes a contemporary version of Metallo.
Yeah.
You
But I
can
mean,
kind of
I
fudge
think
him
like
in.
you could put it with the Crime Syndicate.
I can't because I've got my hero shelf and my villain shelf, and I'm really anal about it. It's like one version of each character, right? So if I put him with the Crime Syndicate, it's like, but Victor's over here, but he's over here, but he's over here too, and I can't do it.
I'm
All
sorry.
right. Okay, Rob.
It is very cool though. I have to call a spade a spade.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at this.
That looks great.
Yeah.
That looks almost photorealistic.
It's pretty dope. Even the eyes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like when McFarlane Toys gets it right, like they get it really right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they get it almost perfect, but there's one thing that's off, and it's like, darn it, you could have just done that one thing and the figure would have been perfect.
I
But
think
every now and then they do perfection. I feel like this one looks like perfection.
Yeah.
I think the cape should be darker, but other than that, it's pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, the helmet, the damage, the cracking.
It looks like Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the mouth. And remember, like the pictures that are used for Todd's, right? It's not like they did with Mattel. They used, concept figures that have been like hand painted. Like whenever we look at pictures that Todd's using for his promotion, they're figures from the factory.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
factory figures. So you can look at how tidy this figure is and how tidy the face paint is and the eye paint and go, okay, so this is roughly what we can expect. And it looks fabulous. I love it.
Yeah, the paint job looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I'm so glad that it's not just like gray plastic.
Yeah.
Now the question is, will he paint the back?
Oh, I would think so.
I wouldn't think so. There's been many figures that the back does not have the shiny.
Isn't there someone that posted like that picture of that figure? I can't remember who did it though, but
let me see if I can find it.
So many figures, you get like the paint.
The toy collector or someone had it on there. Not toy collector, but you know what I'm talking about.
They have that figure on their page.
Like from Argentina or something. Someone posted a picture.
Like out of box?
Inbox. But
okay.
So you can see what it comes with.
I can't find it, but we'll circle back if I stumble across it.
Okay.
There's going to be some variants with the spear. They got to do the spear, right?
Oh,
Someone's going to have the spear. So then we have Wonder Woman. I think she looks great.
Yet, I think.
Yeah, that's a great gal.
Yeah. And I think the red looks darker.
And she doesn't have hot dog legs either.
No, it's the Shazam body, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited. This is like third time's a charm.
They got it.
Because the last one looked good, but the tiara wasn't attached. So what did we all do? We all customized it. I shaved down the tiara and glued it to her head underneath her hair, and we all did it.
Yeah.
We all did
it. So much better.
Well, she comes with the weapons, which she didn't come with before, even though we could buy, like I have some from Mr. G Toys. I think the only thing that this is missing for me is the holster strap.
Goes across the chest.
Yeah. Now, I have one from a PVC like statue that I used.
Okay.
On like a previous one, I might just switch it to this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. This looks good.
I love the chest area here, like the texture of the bat emblem. That looks great. The straps. It looks pretty dope.
And you could always you can see how the details of the second belt aren't painted.
Yeah.
And the straps on his legs. But that's the kind of thing that you can take it or leave it. I may end up painting those details just because I'm finicky that way, but you could take it or leave it. The only thing I noticed about this that I feel like could have been a bit of an improvement is the straps for his goggles seem a little thick. Right? You can see how thick those are on his head.
Yeah.
And that's a nitpick. That's like me nitpicking because the figure looks fantastic. For one, it's like proportionately, it looks like the right proportions for Nightmare Batman, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
I am kind of glad that they went with a plastic trench coat with this, though.
Yeah. I agree. He comes with binoculars. You can see there. What do you think do you guys think he comes with anything else?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's going to come with a gun if it's not a collector edition figure.
Yeah.
I think that was sort of the rule, right? Like, I thought Jonah Hex came with them. I don't know.
Collector's editions can be sold in the collector's aisle, so therefore adults.
Yeah.
And the guns
Or
being the regular one with toy
McFarlane
aisle.
exclusive.
Right. So
Right.
this is a general release. Ugh, I doubt it.
Binoculars are a strange. Like, am I the only one that thinks this? Like, binoculars, like, okay, they make sense. He wants to see far away, but like, it is like certainly an out of left field accessory. Binoculars, no?
Do you think
Just
he comes with like batarangs?
I don't know.
Well, he usually comes with batarangs.
Yeah.
Like, they've already made like accessories for this Batman, so I would just expect them to just pack those in too, right?
The binoculars though, they're accurate to the movie, so that's
yeah.
You think they're dumb in the movie?
I don't think they're dumb. I don't think they're dumb now. Like, they just look like binoculars. But it's like if he only comes with one accessory, it's binoculars, right? It just seems kind of like weird. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying
I would take that over a batarang.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, as much as I want the right accessories, my figures typically don't have accessories in their hands when I pose them on my shelf, unless it's like the Joker with a cane or the Riddler with his cane.
Or the Trident for Aquaman.
Yeah. Must have. So then are you telling us you're not going to pose him with the binoculars, Rob?
No. Even if he did come with the gun, I probably wouldn't pose him with the gun.
Really? You wouldn't have him like holding the gun, like ready to?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Interesting. I would definitely want to put the binoculars on him. The binoculars on it. Like,
I mean, if I would want him to come with the gun.
Pardon?
It's just I would want him to come with the gun with the proper accessories, but like I'm not gonna like for most of my weapons. Okay, so I bought a spear for that the one that I posted today that from DC Films because it didn't come with the spear. I don't have him holding it, but I have it like laying in front of the figure.
I'll do that sometimes if they're not holding it. Yep. I get you. Yeah. Sick figure though.
Yeah. The one I'm most excited about. Finally, a Doomsday. Even though it's not my favorite iteration of Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're getting a BVS Doomsday.
Doomsday and Superman 2-pack.
And Superman,
with a wired cloth goods cape.
Yeah.
You can see it there.
I'm stoked for it. I know people are like ragging on the diaper area, but like I don't give a shit. Like I think it looks good.
I agree.
I think it looks fine. I've just come to expect there to be a diaper area.
I like the soft plastic more than a hard plastic crotch piece, if that makes sense. Like I like that it has some give to it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't like that they glue them in. That gets kind of a pain when you're trying to customize, but
yeah,
I do like them.
I remember when I first realized that they had soft crotch pieces, like trunks areas, I was like, wow, this is shut up. I was like, wow, this is so different. Like, you know, that they have these by comparison to what we'd been used to for years.
Yeah.
And like now I'm used to it. Like I think it makes total sense and I'm thankful for it because it makes customizing one heck of a lot easier.
I know. I wholeheartedly agree. Like I love how customizable the figures are. And
yeah. Very easy to tear apart, like tear down and put back together. Very easy. I think that this this Doomsday looks good. I mean, I don't remember scale like inch for inch if this is like the correct scale for the character. I seem to remember the legs being longer, but I honestly don't know. I mean, I think it just looks good as it
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
the only thing I could say that is I really do, looking at that Superman, it looks like it's the same blue. And I really do kind of wish that the blue, I mean, it's accurate for the movie, I suppose, because his blue was darker. I just wish that I wish that he would have taken this chance to make a slightly lighter blue, metallic blue for Superman this time around.
Yeah.
Just
could see
slightly
that.
lighter would have been fun. He doesn't have
Do you-
to. It's not like I
Do you
don't like.
think the head sculpt's the same, or do you think it's a different one?
My money is on the same
Okay.
with the same, probably the same paint job. That's where my money is,
Yeah.
because he's already put the money into retooling for the cape. So I can't imagine him making a new head sculpt. I could be totally wrong. Might be a brand new head. I'm going to buy another head though. When I saw this, I went online and I saw another, like a custom head sculpt maker.
Okay.
So
The chest version. All right, guys, let's get on to the final
what is left? Oh,
reveal.
yeah.
Oh,
The
I will
best for
say
last.
I'm all in for the BVS wave, and anything that comes out, I'm gonna pick up. So
Same here.
I'll
But-
probably pick it all up except, well, yeah, I will pick it all up eventually. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got the reveal today. Christopher Reeve, Superman. What do we think, boys?
You want to go first?
you can go first.
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, yay, Reeve. I think a lot of Christopher Reeve fans were like that. And I love the fact that it has a cloth goods cape. That is absolutely fantastic. I do think it's a strange choice that the emblem has clearly been like set into the body, but it's painted on the chevron and not sculpted. I just think that's kind of weird that they chose to go that route rather than just like paint stamping on the emblem right onto his chest. Like if they're going to just paint stamp the emblem onto the sculpted piece, why not just paint stamp it onto his chest? So I thought that was it's not bad. It's just weird. I'm like, why did they do that? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited about it. I think the buzz online is that people are thinking that this has some reused parts from the Infinite Crisis Old Man Soups, and I don't think it does. The boots are completely new. The legs are new. The biceps are new. The torso is new. Maybe the mid area. Maybe the trunks are new.
I think what people are thinking is the elbow and the knee joints look very similar to the Crisis Superman, which I prefer. Like those joints,
They might be
phenomenal.
Yeah, I tend to look at this and think that it's probably, my money is on 90% new sculpt.
Yeah.
People are complaining about the cuffs, and I can't see well enough when I look at the picture to see if that is. At first, it looks like it may be a reuse of Rebirth Superman era cuffs, but I don't think it is. I just think it's like, I think it's a new sculpt, and I think it's just cuffs on the suit. And Superman's costume, when you look at the pictures, had cuffs.
Yeah, he had it like it bunched up.
Like, yeah, but there were also cuffs. If you look, there's cuffs sewn into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's not inaccurate. But that is one thing that people are buzzing about. I like this. Like, he's not scrawny. He's like Superman 3, Superman 4 built, because he was bigger in those movies than he was in Superman 1 and 2. But yeah, I definitely like it. He looks like he jumped right off the pages of the what was it called? They did 2 new Superman comic book series that picked up right after
the Superman 78.
Superman 78, yeah. He looks like he jumped right into Superman 78. So I mean, and that's good enough for me. He looks good.
Rob, what do you think, sir?
I think it looks phenomenal. I mean, Reeves Superman was obviously built, but you really couldn't tell muscle definition like you can in
No.
today's movies.
Yeah.
So I like that you can't see that here. I agree with Brad that the chest is kind of like, why do they do it that way instead of just painting it directly on? Which I wonder if it's going to get reused somewhere down the road. But I don't know. I think it looks phenomenal. Like, it might not be 100% Reeves or Reeve. I always mix those two up. But anyway,
George Reeves and Christopher Reeve.
yeah, and Matt Reeves.
Oh yeah, geez.
But yeah, like the head sculpt might not be 100%, but it's close enough for me.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you don't like
I
it, there's
mean-
customizers, right?
yeah,
It instantly looks like a Christopher Reeve Superman.
yeah. There's no dispute.
You know,
Plus, like
yeah.
it's the year I was born, so like yeah.
Yeah, my only problem with it is the S, the thickness on the right side of that S.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Now
just
that
too
could have been
thick.
just how that one was stamped out, though, right?
Maybe. I hope.
Okay.
That's the only thing that looks off to me is the thickness. Even it being raised doesn't bother me much, but the thickness of it makes it look a little off.
Yeah.
That's something that's bothering.
You
Other than
know-
that, I love this thing, man.
My question is, I've got full trust. There's an S on the back of that cape,
Oh yeah.
right? But my question is, did they paint the back of the belt,
I would hope so.
right? Because they didn't with Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman, remember?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at. Like if they did not paint the back of the belt, I'm gonna be like, oh guys, so close. But so I'm really, it looks like the yellow paint curves around his body by the looks there. So I'm assuming they did. Fingers crossed they did, but yeah,
We'll find out soon. I'm sure this will be out pretty quick.
it's gonna sell like friggin' hotcakes at a maple syrup party.
Oh, can we give props before I forget about John? He actually created an entire diorama of the Fortress of Solitude.
Aesthetic One, the photographer from McFarlane Toys, created this diorama that you're looking at here, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he said that in his stories.
Tell me you
Top
love
man.
Superman without telling me you love Superman.
Yeah.
It's I love it. I mean, I've seen a lot of conversation with people saying the NECA one's better. I like the NECA one quite a bit, but man, my one snapped so quickly. I
Yeah.
had to super glue it back, and it's not. This is a great Superman action figure. Like, it's an action figure.
I had
you know what I mean?
I had 3 of the NECA
Yeah.
ones. I might have one up here. Okay, I don't have the NECA one up here, but I've got the one that uses the same body. I've had 3 of the NECA, 2 of which have snapped. So they're just junk quality. But then something I did not like about these, the NECA ones, I didn't like how skinny and spindly Superman's arms were. Like I wish that they were just a little bit bigger, you know? Because his arms are really, really thin on the NECA one. So that was something that I had qualms with. So no, like I'll take this one over the NECA one all day long.
Yeah, and
100%.
I think the proportions look really good too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Whereas the NECA proportions are a little weird.
If anything, like his diaper area should actually probably be a little higher, but
You think so?
in certain movies his underwear like rode up really high.
Briefs?
Yeah.
Briefs. You just wanted to
Wait,
see
it
a
is-
super wedgie, you perv.
And this goes up on the 17th, as does the BVS stuff.
So that's
Yeah.
no
No, BVS is 18th.
yeah, so it's
Dang it, dude.
Thursday and
Jeez.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh god, who needs
Two
to make a
good
mortgage
days to go
payment?
broke.
And like just think guys, like for those who are attending Comic-Con, like you got to worry about this and Comic-Con. Like that's one good reason why I'm kind of thankful I'm not going, is so that I can order these.
And then they're going to announce more stuff at the New York Comic Con, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All right,
can't
my
go
friends.
Comic-Con. No Comic-Con for me.
With that, my friends, got to wrap it up. Almost hit 2 hours this week, guys. Been a while.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
We have
many people are still
164
with us?
people watching right now.
Hey, appreciate the 164 people watching us. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Great hanging out with you this evening. Thanks to Brad and Rob, as always, my esteemed co-hosts. And we'll be back maybe in 2 weeks, maybe sooner. We'll see how the New York Comic Con news turns out. Rob, glad to see that you wrapped up on a good note with being able to see you and hear you.
Yeah, you're nice and clear now.
You
Yeah,
can
dude,
see
very
my posters.
Yeah, your internet connection is on fire right now. I'm all blurry now. Look at me. Maybe it's my camera. Nope, I just wasn't in focus. Wonder how long that was happening for.
It just happened. All right, guys. With that, bid adieu. Adieu.
Thanks for
We'll see
watching,
you next
guys.
time.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, hearing us ramble and talk about stuff.
Appreciate it, friends.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye, bud.